Here, so let's talk about another intake manifold company. Today, let's talk about Edmunds. So Eddie Edmund actually got his start in the hobby as a dirt track mechanic in the late 1930s. Seeing the market take off, he decided that he wanted to start his own performance parts company. Now, keep in mind that he had absolutely no interest in hot rodding. He just wanted parts that improved the performance for the everyday man. Eddie was based in Portland, Oregon, and he started his company there, which was probably one of the best places to start his company because he hooked up with a man named Shanafelt. I don't expect you to know who Shanafelt is, but he was also responsible for people like Eddie Meyer and a lot of other private label intake manifolds. So Shanafelt would actually cast his intake manifolds, and Eddie would actually do all of the machining himself in his garage, so you can imagine how quickly he fulfilled orders. It was also basically a private label design, so that's why there's no markings on the intake manifold. Edmund, his wife was a graphic designer, and she basically convinced him to sign every intake, and that's why there isn't a logo, there is a signature on every intake. He felt it was more personal. By the end of World War II, Eddie applied for a reconstruction loan and got it. Now, the reason why we think that he got this loan over other companies at the time was because he also got a government contract. He was contracted to provide performance parts for Cadillac engines. Those engines would be used by the government in tanks. He used that loan to purchase a warehouse in Los Angeles, and he moved from Portland to Los Angeles for 3 reasons. 1, he moved to Los Angeles because labor was cheap. 2, he moved to Los Angeles because there were a lot of people that were capable of providing tooling. 3, California had the largest amount of aluminum smelters, and thus competition was high, and smelting and casting was a lot easier. Unfortunately, it wasn't all whiskey and hand jobs for Eddie because he was never able to get the quality up on his products enough for the government to accept any of the items that he sent to them. After he lost the contract, he pretty much started looking at other ways to make income. Oddly enough, he realized that basically installing AC units in cars was a lot more profitable than making speed parts. This resulted in him losing interest in his speed line, and eventually his company went bankrupt. Now for brass tacks. Edmund intakes are all over the place when it comes to quality control. Internally, he was still using the same design that Shanafelt had given him, and he never invested into R&D to try and improve that design. This basically means that one Edmund intake manifold will perform better than another Edmund intake manifold of the same type. This is why some people love him and some people hate him.